If you're looking at Europe and thinking about a second passport in 2026, you need to understand that the old rules have been completely rewritten. The era of passport shopping, where you could essentially buy a citizenship like a commodity, is over. It's finished. And in this video, I'm going to break down the actual reality of building an EU citizenship strategy today, because the nomad capitalist model of minimal presence and maximum collection is effectively dead on this continent. Now, you might be asking yourself if it is even worth the effort anymore. And the truth is, an EU passport is still arguably the most valuable asset you can own. When you become a citizen of an EU member state, whether that's Germany, Portugal, or Ireland, you aren't just getting a travel document, you're getting the right to live, work, study, and retire across 31 countries, including the entire EU, plus Norway, Switzerland, and Iceland, where you're talking about moving your entire life across an economic block of 450 to 460 million people with zero bureaucratic friction. You get political rights, world-class healthcare, and safety net that covers your family for generations. Yes, it's harder to get now, but the value is much higher than it's been ever before. So why has the playbook changed? Simply put, you can't buy your way in anymore. Malta was the final holdout for citizenship by investment, and that was abolished in mid of 2025. Spain ended its golden visa last year, and Cyprus is long gone in 2026. Europe wants genuine residents, not just investors. One of the major exceptions left is the Portugal Golden Visa. It remains the only program where you can realistically reach citizenship without moving there full time. You only need about 35 days of physical presence over a 5-year period. But, and this is a huge but, it's not just an instant passport, it's a path, as that path is getting complicated. Now, while the 5-year timeline is still technically the law as of February 2026, the Portuguese parliament is still currently pushing to double that to 10 years. When you add the massive backlog at the immigration agency, where cases are taking up to 3 years just to process, a 5-year path is realistically looking more like 10 to 12 years. If you aren't comfortable with that uncertainty and you don't actually like Portugal, then this might not be an option for you. Now, if you're a British national, though, you have a much better option because of the common travel area. You can move to Ireland tomorrow, no visa, no investment, no language test. If you live there for 5 years, you get your EU citizenship back. It is by far the most straightforward strategy for anyone with a UK passport. Now, for everyone else, the biggest challenge you're going to face is the integration bar. Language requirements are tightening everywhere. France just jumped from B1 to B2 proficiency last month. Germany and Denmark are equally strict. The authorities aren't just looking for a certificate, they want to see that you've actually integrated in the society. And here's a tip from my own experience of helping people. If you move to a place like Finland or Sweden, locals try to help you by switching to English. Don't let them. If you want that passport, you have to insist on speaking the local language, join clubs, use tutors or language sites to reach fluency. If you spend 5 years in a digital nomad bubble speaking only English, don't be surprised when your citizenship application gets rejected. Speaking of nomads, many countries now offer a dedicated digital nomad visa. For example, Spain, Italy, and Greece are the big ones. Portugal has the D8 for remote workers and the D7 for passive income. The trap here is that not all these count towards citizenship. Some are simply temporary permits. Spain's and Portugal's version do count, but the income floors have increased. We are now looking at needing to show roughly 3,000 to 4,000 euros a month in stable income to get in the door. Before you make a move, you also have to look at the hidden factors. Spain technically requires you to renounce your original citizenship unless you're from a former colony. The Netherlands is very strict. about dual nationality. And then there's military service. With the geopolitical shifts we have seen, 10 EU countries now have compulsory conscription, including Croatia, which just brought it back this year. You need to know if you or your children are going to be called up for service the moment that passport is issued. The bottom line for 2026 is that EU citizenship is a life decision, not a quick transaction. You need to choose the country you actually want to call home, learn the language before you arrive, and build real roots in the community. If you're serious about building your EU citizenship strategy and you want a framework from someone who has actually helped expats navigate all these complexities, from choosing the right investment in the right country to understanding the different timelines, language requirements, dual citizenship rules, and those sneaky hidden factors like military service, you can reach us using the link in the description. We will walk you through making the right decision for your specific situation, your goals, complete with up to date information on processing times, realistic timelines, and all other factors that most people overlook until it's too late and they've wasted time and money. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.